Hello there. This is Vargas, and I am back again with another alcohol spirit uh, opening taste test review series that I'm on. I'm on this alcohol journey, and I'm taking you guys along for the ride. And I have a new bottle because I already finished a couple of bottles that I had, and like I said, when I finish bottle, I want to buy a new one to try it out. So I'm trying this one out. And just two things I wanted to touch upon. As I was editing some of the older videos, I did notice that I had this weird thumping sound on them, and I figured out that it was the microphone that I have in my tripod. I didn't have it properly set up so it would wiggle, and that's what made that thumping sound whenever I would hit the table. But I hopefully that got fixed. Now that I'm aware of it, I won't hit the table as often, so it doesn't make that sound. So hopefully that will improve in this video. And then once I have planned after this one. Also, you might have noticed that when I do the DVD pickups, I'm not in the movie room. And the reason for that is because, thankfully, because of the plague, I'm working home office. And I used to work here in the living room. But things are getting a little hectic, and I decided to move the PC to the movie room so I could have a little bit more privacy and work from there. The problem is that by doing that, I left myself with very little space to record. So, yeah, I can't record. I was never going to record these spirit reviews in the movie room because I don't want something to spill and get all the DVDs or video games or other electronic stuff that I got wet, because it's a whole hassle. But because of the PC that I have set up there, I was left with very little room to maneuver, so I can't just sit down and record a video. I'll probably figure something out somewhere down the line, but that's the main reason why you are seeing this background in the DVD updates, because I'm recording in this location, which is still the living room. It's just the dining table, and this also works as a backdrop for my daughter's online school that she's in. So yeah, I'm working stuff out so that I can record in the movie room, but for now I'm recording this. So the spirit that I wanted to share with you all is actually a spirit that, as far back as I remember, I've known of its existence, because they would pass a lot of commercials on TV. There was three spirits that they would always pass on TV that I vividly remember throughout the years. One was Bacardi. They would always pass Bacardi commercials, especially the fancy Bacardi Añejo commercials. Don Pedro Brandy was another one, and the other one was this one that I want to talk about. And this is a Mexican product, again, which is why I remember it for as far as back as I can remember. And it, unless something changed, but I do know that this was the #1 selling brandy in Mexico. And you could debate whether part of it's because it was, and it still is, pretty cheap, or it's tasty. I do remember having this before, when I was able to legally drink, but I only tried it mixed at a couple of parties, but I'm visiting this now on its own, and then I'm going to mix it. And the spirits and the bottle that I added and will drink is Brandy Presidente Clásico. This is, again, for a while this was the #1 selling brandy in Mexico. Again, part of it is because of the taste. Part of it is because, again, to this day, it's super cheap. I got this for 130 pesos, which is about $6. Let's say $6 with the exchange rate. So it's super, super cheap. I'm hoping that it's cheap in price and good in taste. Because, again, the only time I've tried Presidente is mixed with Coke. Because, again, when here in Mexico, again, the reason why it's probably the #1 selling brandy in Mexico is because it's affordable. So, you know, if you had a party, you could just buy a number of bottles of these and serve them to your guest mixed with Coke. So yeah, this is Clásico, and the Presidente brand has now a couple of different ones. They have a Solera one, and they have a Reserve version, which is the higher net up. Now this again was the quality. I remember vividly the commercials for Presidente, and much like Bacardi Añejo, it was presented as a fancy gentleman's spirit. That there was always this guy in a suit, and he would be like sitting down, and I will have some brandy, please, by the Mexican, Spanish, of course. I will have some brandy, please, and someone would serve them. Oh, Presidente, sir, and he would like, oh, yes, 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 of course, and they would showcase the brandy. Now, I don't remember. It was just brandy Presidente. It wasn't classic. I'm guessing when they introduced Solera and the Reserved, this became, by default, Classic. They recently changed the label. This used to be like a gold color, and the label was different. The engraving here, it's engraved, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it's engraved with a like a knight's helmet with a shield and sword, which was the logo for Presidente. You can also see it here. It's like a knight's helmet with a shield and a sword. And I'll translate the back because it's in Spanish. And Presidente is the first brandy made in Mexico. With more than 50 years uniting generations, the maturation of casks highlights its mixture. Brandy Presidente is so unique as the earth that it saw it born from. From Mexico to everyone. Made by Casa Pedro Domecq. And I also know that when they changed the label and the presentation, they lowered the alcohol volume. It used to be 40%. Now it's in 35%. I think, if I remember correctly, when I bought this, they had a bottle of Reserva, and that I think was 40%. So, yeah, I'm I'm hoping this is not a situation that it's a cheap spirit, both in price and in taste. That they really made this an even more budget spirit, and that it just tastes like alcohol and nothing. Because brandy is made out of grapes. It's not wine. It's a different process to make brandy, as far as I know. But I really like the bottle. It has a nice design. The colors are really cool, and I like the color of the spirit in the bottle. So let's stop talking and let's open it up. Whoop. There we go. Popped it. I've discovered that you kind of have to reclose it and repop it. Because like most spirits here in Mexico, they have a little plastic thing so that since this is a budget spirit, it gets served a lot in bars, so that people don't pour anything in. It's got this thing you can pour it out, but you can't pour anything in unless you force this thing out. But then bartenders get in trouble. So have my tumbler with glass. So let's sip it with ice. First, the smell. It smells like alcohol. And it kind of smells like grapes. Again, not as much as a wine. A wine has a more grapey smell. It smells more like the booze, but yeah, all I get is the alcohol. So, cheers. Hope it's still good. It's not. It hasn't been reduced in flavor. I'm not getting the grapes. Now, I have seen other videos where they do 3 different taste tests. They do it once, straight, without any ice. Then they add the ice, and then they mix it with something. But I'm just doing it straight with ice. Yeah, I'm not that. I like sweet drinks. Wow, that alcohol taste really stays there. It's not as smooth as I remember it. I do remember this because again, when I became legal age, this was the more affordable spirit that I got to taste in parties, and I liked it. And then they would mix it with Coke, and I liked it a little better. But I don't get any grapes. I don't get any grapes at all. Now that the ice has melted a little bit, and it's relatively watered down, it's a little hard. It's a little easier to drink. But I'm not getting any grapes, which is unfortunate, because this is supposedly made. Well, it's brandy. It's made with grapes. It's not supposedly. It is, but it's not as smooth as I remember it. And that's something actually to watch. I've noticed that you have to watch out for when they change the label. They do tend to also change the formula, and that aftertaste is still there. I mean, it's not bad. It's not a horrible taste. It doesn't. It's not like I'm drinking straight up rubbing alcohol. And being there with the ice has mellowed it out. But I'm still not getting any grapes. So my ice cubes melted really fast with this brandy, so I am going to pause, get some more ice cubes, and come back and do a mixing with Coke. So one moment, please. And we're back. Added more ice cubes to my tumbler. Added some. Actually, gonna add a little bit more. Presidente. I'm still not getting any of the grapes. I'm pretty sure I'm not mistaken. Brandy is made out of grapes, as far as I remember. Good old Coke. This is the way that I most know it, and a lot of people, I'm pretty sure, most know Brandy Presidente. Is mixing it with Coke. Again, it's a really easy drink to mix. At parties, that's what they would serve, Presidente with Coke, because it was affordable. Even the Coke was affordable. Mix it, and you get people drinking. So, cheers, Brandy Presidente with Coke. Wow, well, that's weird. Now I can taste the grapes. That's real peculiar. I mean, it still tastes. It doesn't taste. Again, memory is kind of an interesting thing. You remember things differently. And I really remember really liking Presidente with Coke. But again, it's many years later. Memories, especially my memory, is kind of faulty, and both these things have gone through at least 20 years of changes. Coke does not taste the same as it did once before. They stopped using, I think they stopped using cane sugar. At least, I think, I don't know, maybe that we still use cane sugar in Mexico. Not some chemical sweetener. And Presidente has gone through, I'm pretty sure, a couple of changes to keep it affordable. They might have really changed the formula, but this really tastes it with Coke. I now I can taste the grapes. I can definitely pick up the grapes now. And again, I might be totally wrong, and I'm remembering stuff wrong, but I'm pretty sure brandy's made out out of grapes, unless I'm confusing it with something else. But I remember it was with grapes, and that's what I'm getting with the Coke. The one thing that I'm discovering with Coke is that it brings out flavors from other spirits. It's really weird. But now with Coke, I'm getting the grapey flavor, which is so bizarre that I couldn't get it straight with ice, but I'm getting it with the Coke. I don't know. It's weird, but it's tasty. Tastes like grape Coke. the the burniness is very diluted now with the Coke and the ice. It's drinkable. I'm assuming higher end brandies you can drink straight. This they've made it into a mixing drink. I can't recommend this as a sipper. At least me personally. Maybe try it and see for yourself if this would be something that you would sip. Personally, no. For me, no. This would not be a sipping spirit. It definitely tastes like it was made for mixing and just getting people buzzed at a cheap price, which is a shame. It's a shame because this really, again, back in the day, Brandy, Pedro Domecq, Bacari Añejo, and Presidente were like the fancy commercials they would pass. Again, they were sold as fancy, even though this was the cheapest one of the three. It was still sold like this fancy thing, and because it's different. It's done by Pedro Domecq, but Don Pedro is the other one I'm remembering, and I think it's made by the same the house actually. But yeah. That's unfortunate. Where when you revisit something, it completely changes and it's become a budget thing and just very mass produced and not as good as you remember it. I'm at my old age. I'm noticing that a lot more. That things that really tasted really good when I was a kid just don't measure up nowadays. I was really interested in revisiting Presidente, and yeah, I think I'll just buy that bottle and maybe try the Reserva one. Maybe the Reserva one is now the modern equivalent of what this used to be, which is a shame because this was good and now it's not. It's a good mixer. I would definitely recommend it if you want to have a party and you have people that like Coke and just want to get people buzzed, that's your option. If you want to enjoy a good brandy on its own, I cannot recommend Brandy Presidente. Not on its own. No. As a mixer, or it's good, but on its own, no bueno. And if someone can explain the why I'm getting the grapes mixed with the Coke and not by itself, please leave a comment because that is very curious to me. Why I'm getting the taste of grapes with Coke and not by its own. I would assume it would taste like grapes on its own, but it's weird. So that was this taste test bottle opening review of Brandy Presidente. Will I rebuy this bottle and keep it in the minibar? I don't know. I don't know. It's affordable. It's one of the cheaper drinks that I've bought. It's definitely one of the cheapest bottles that I've bought recently. And maybe if I do finish this, maybe I'll buy another one just to keep it there in case someone asks for it. But I would like to try the Presidente Reserva, see if that's better than this. I'm assuming it probably would be. That one's a little bit more expensive. Not too expensive, but a little bit more expensive. So I'll probably I do want to finish this one because that's the rule I set for myself. I have to finish a bottle before I buy a new bottle. So I'll probably down this with Coke. But yeah, I can't in good conscience recommend this as a sipper. But as a mixer, it's really good. It's I'll probably try to mix it with some other things. But with Coke, I liked it with Coke, so I will recommend it with Coke. But it's not as good as I remember it. So that's sad. That's sad. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for commenting, liking. Again, comments, likes, that really helps the YouTube algorithm, the thumbs up. And I would really, really like to make 2022 the year that my channel actually balloons up. And it becomes more widely known. But yeah. So I'll see you later, guys. I don't want to ramble on too much. Please stay safe in these still crazy times. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.